Hello friends, welcome to yet another video about learning coding in C#.NET Framework. Previously we discussed how to write the code in Visual Studio. We used write and read method to write our simple hello world text. Today we will discuss those methods, write and read method, in little more details, and we will also write the code that will take input from the user, do some sort of processing or calculation, and finally we'll display the result. Before doing that, I want you to see this step that is used while developing the program. These steps are very useful when you get something to write. After getting requirements, it is always very bad process to just jump into the coding and start typing code in your computer. So once you get what end users need, think about it, or analyze how you are going to achieve it, how you are going to give the end results to your end user, and then use some sort of method like use pen, paper, or something like where you are comfortable to design the solution. After you get the solution, after you set up a concept in your mind, and then only start coding. So, and once you're done with the coding, test your code to make sure it is giving what end user wants. And if you think like it's not working properly, then you can debug your code to make sure your code is as requirement. So yesterday we write the code to print hello world text. I'm going to create a project just like I did yesterday, and we will go through those methods we used previously: read line, write and WriteLine, and we will see what is the difference between those methods, what output we will get when you use those methods. So for that one, let me create a project as I did yesterday. So for that one, you will click File, New, Project. Make sure console app.net framework is selected, and you can give the project name. Today I will give the project name as data type, since we're going to learn data type in a few moments. Then I'm going to select where I'm going to save this solution in my hard drive. So I'm going to select this folder and hit OK. So once you hit OK, Visual Studio will create the project in your local machine, and then it will bring up the solution screen. There you go, guys. Now we are in the program screen. So now over here we can write our code to get our end results. So today also I'm going to write this hello world program, and we will discuss like what is the difference between the methods we used yesterday. I'm going to use like readLine, write, WriteLine, and we will see like what output we will get when we use these methods. Semicolon console dot read semicolon, and now we will see like what this write method will do, what this read method will do. Over here we're telling the system to print this hello world text in a console. Yesterday we saw that black screen where hello world was printed, and we're telling them to pause it, like until and unless I enter a character, just pause it. like it will wait from the users to pass any character so that it can get exit out from the console command. Now let's run this command. So this is the output we got once we start that command. Okay, I forgot to tell you guys the one thing, like to run this command there is a button over here, it's called start. Just click that green play button and it will execute this screen. Over here we said like write hello world. This is what it did, write hello world. And then what it does is like it will put the cursor after end of this text. So this is what write does, and we're telling the read just wait from me until I hit any character. Just watch, if I hit any character in the keyboard, boom, it disappeared. Once I hit enter, it disappeared from there. So it will wait from me to hit enter button, and once I hit enter, it went away. Now for the same thing I'm going to use WriteLine and ReadLine command, and we will see what the difference output we will get after using those methods. Now I'm going to click start. You can also press F5 button to hit the start. So now we can see over here, we told the system to write the hello world text, and since we have provided WriteLine, it has put the cursor to the next line. And now in the next line we are telling them to wait and let me enter the string. Now if I type anything in the keyboard, you see like it is typing in the keyboard, and once I hit enter, it will go away. So the console.read method basically reads a character. So if you are on a console and you press a key, then the console will close. Meanwhile, console.readLine method will read the whole string. It will allow you to type on the console. On the other hand, console.write will put the cursor at the end of the same line, where console.readLine will put the cursor to the next line, and we saw that earlier. We saw the output. So we already know what is the difference between these methods. Now let's discuss about the semicolon over here. You guys are seeing like I'm putting semicolon at every line of code. What does this semicolon means over here is this semicolon indicates we are done with writing this line of code. You will see like I'm not going to put a semicolon over here, but I'm going to do like this way. Let's see what happens, what output we will get. We still got the same output. C# ignores the blank spaces or this space and then wait for where the semicolons exist, and from there it will see like our line of code has been broken. Now it will read the next line. So since there is no semicolon over here, it will read it from here. It will read everything until it sees the semicolon, and then it says okay, this line of code has been completed. Now let's go and read the next line of code, and then from there it will start reading this line of code. Now let's discuss about the data types. What is data types and where we're going to use the data types in C#. Data type specifies which type of a value a variable has and what type of operations can be applied to it without causing an error. For example, a string is a data type that is used to classify text. For example, debug, D-E-E-P-A-K, debug is a text. We need to specify that data type is a string. Also, int is a data type that is used to classify the whole number, where decimal is used to classify the decimals. So today in the class we're going to use the data types in our code, and we will see what kind of output we will get, whether we get our desired output or not using the data types. So now we're going to write a program that will compute the sum of two given integers value. In a C#, if you want to commit out, then you will use the 2 backslash that will commit out over here. Whatever you write in that section, it will just take it as a comment. So I'm going to write what our program is going to do. It's just going to be a small description of the program. I'm going to write below the description. So this is the our given requirement. So now think, what do you need to fulfill this requirement? So take a pen and paper and design this solution. So over here the code is written where we are saying like x is an integer, because our given requirement was an integer, which is equal to 5. Y is in 6, and we need the sum of x and y. Over here we're saying like do the calculation where g equal to x plus y, and now we're saying display the output sum of x and y. Over here we're concatenating this output, which is x plus y, to here. Like in output we should see sum of x and y equals to whatever value of this character. We should see that value over here. Let's see. There you go, guys. We got that sum of x and y equal to 11. So yeah, we did our first data type calculation. Now let's do more. Now in this one I'm going to print John Hennessy, which is I given a name, just a random name, John Hennessy. I want this output, like if it asks for the name, then I should see John Hennessy. Let me zoom out this one a little bit more over here so that we can see this clearly. Okay, there we go. Now for this one we will define a data type. We need the string. Let's keep the name as a name, and we will say name equals John Hennessy, and we need to put this in a quote so that it can read as a string. So we have given the name. Now the way we did earlier, we're going to do the same thing. Now we use the console dot write, and then we will say, since I have passed that John Hennessy, I want to print this name in the console screen. So name is space and give this one as name. Semicolon. Console dot read. Now let's see what the output we will get. There you guys, your name is John Hennessy. So this is another data type string. We looked at two data types, string and int. This is how the data type works. Now we're going to do how to take the input from the user, do processing, and display the output. And this will be our end goal today. So now let's see. We're going to do the same calculation we did earlier about taking two input. We give like x and y, and then in this case now we will do, rather than providing the value of x and y in the code, we will ask the user input, so that we can provide any numbers, and based on that numbers it will give you the sum. So this is our earlier code we used. Now we will not provide any value over here, so we're going to do this later on. Now since we discussed earlier what does read does, readline does, write does, and WriteLine does, so we're going to use that one over here now. Console dot write enter first number. Now we're going to put this input as an X. So over here X equals ReadLine. Now we're saying whatever the user inputs over there, so read it, and then we're going to use class console ReadLine. Now you see like there's an error message over here. There's a curly red mustache. The reason is like, and you can read the reason over here. It is saying like string console.readLine. Read the next line from characters from the standard input stream. Cannot completely convert that string to int. Guys, whatever we enter in screen, that black screen, this Visual Studio will read it as a string. Now since it is written as a string and we're telling like X is an integer, so it is say like it cannot convert a string to the integer. So for that one we will use parse. What is parse does? Like parse reads the text and converts to more useful format. Let's do it, and then we will see what it does. Since we're trying to convert this string into integer, we will provide the data type and parse it. So in this example, what it is doing, it is reading the text we are providing over here and then converting it to the integer. So same thing we will do for our another input. Control V. Now in this case we will take Y, and this will be our second number of line. Now our first line of code that will take input as an X, second line of code that will take input as an Y. Now we will do this sum. Now we're saying sum of X and Y, or I can say first number and second number is equal to whatever values. Now let's run this command to see what we will get. So now it is asking for the first number, and you guys can see that the cursor is blinking on the same line. If I had the right line over here, then cursor will be in the next line. Since we're providing only right, so it is in the same line. So over here I'm going to type 5, enter. Now it is asking me the second number. I'm going to enter 6 and second number. There we go, we got our output. Sum of the first number and second number is 11, which is our desired output. There we go guys. So today we learned about different methods, the difference between read, readline, write and WriteLine, different data types, parse, column, and how to take input from the user, process it and display it. So that's all for today guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. It will really motivate me. Thank you and see you soon in next video. Take care guys. Bye bye.